In episode 6, as Jun Ho is going over his brother's file to find out exactly what happened to him, he hears the phone ring. He doesn't know who's calling, but then he hears footsteps, and it's the front man showing up. So he has to hide. He hears the front man answer the phone and say, yes, there's been a minor disturbance, but it's being addressed. There's no need to worry. We'll make sure there's no trace of the disturbance by the time the VIPs show up. Don't worry, the game will begin on time, sir. And then he hangs up. Once the front man leaves, Jun Ho goes over to the phone and he tries to make an outgoing call, but it doesn't work. The phone only works for incoming calls. He puts the receiver down and he goes back to collecting data and looking for information on what happened to his brother. As for the contestants, the workers come in and they make all the contestants get up and stand in line. The problem is, for the old man, he's still sick and he had an accident. He peed himself. Seong, just showing some compassion, takes his jacket off and wraps it around the old man so he has some dignity. They then get word that the fourth game is about to begin. As they make their way up the steps to the next game arena, they see a troubling sight. It's 4 workers hanging along with the doctor. Their dead bodies are just dangling there. There's then an announcement from one of the workers that says what you witness here is what remains of those who broke the rules for their own benefit. They tainted the pure ideology that everything here has been built upon. Each of you is an equal, and you must be guaranteed that. There won't be any discrimination here, and we truly apologize. Most of the contestants have no idea what to make of this, and they don't know why the doctor's hanging in there. And that includes the Kingpin, 101. What he's more upset about is he no longer has an in on what the next game's going to be. They then make their way to the waiting area, and there's an announcement made that for the fourth game, they have to break up into pairs of 2. Just about everybody is looking around, and they're looking for allies. Sang-woo decides to pair with Ali. It's a natural fit. Sa-byeok pairs with Ji-young. And while he knows that it might cost them, Seong decides to pair with the old man. He knows deep down the old man is going to have problems finding a partner, so he wants to kind of look after him. No one, though, wants to pair up with contestant 212. She's just way too annoying, way too persistent. Literally nobody wants to deal with her. And as the groups make their way into the game arena, she's trying frantically to convince anybody to drop their partner for her. But nobody's listening. One by one, they just walk right by her in her desperate attempts to get a partner. She's pretty terrified. She thinks that she's going to get killed off, but in reality, it's the best thing to happen for her. With the odd number, she didn't have a partner, so she survives on to the next round. She's not forced to play. The workers just escort her back to the barracks, and she just waits to find out who made it, who didn't. As for everybody else, they make their way into the game arena, and it looks like an old neighborhood. In fact, the old man makes mention that it looks like the neighborhood he grew up in. Each pair, though, is teamed up with one of the workers. The workers hand each person a bag full of 10 marbles. The game is to get the 10 marbles from your partner. If you're able to get the 10 marbles, you win, your partner dies. Everybody has 30 minutes. Everybody played this wrong. They thought that they were going to be working as a team when in reality they're working against each other. And for a lot of teams, they don't like this at all. For a guy like Ali, who looks up to Sang-woo, he doesn't like the idea of one of them dying. For Seong, he doesn't like the idea of killing off the old man. And while Sa-byeok and Ji-young don't really know each other, they don't want to kill each other. But everybody's got 30 minutes, and nobody wants to die. So one way or the other, you got to find a way to get your partner to give you the 10 marbles. Now, one rule of this is you can't use physical violence. So for the Kingpin, he's not going to be able to just beat the crap out of his partner. Most teams decide to play odds and evens. The way that game works is one person's the guesser, and the other person puts a certain amount of marbles in their hand, closed fist, and the person that's the guesser just guesses if it's an odd number of marbles or an even number of marbles. If they get it right, they get the amount of marbles that's in the hand. And if they get it wrong, they have to give the amount of marbles that they themselves have in their hand. Ji Young and Sao Biak, they decide to do something completely different. They decide to do a one-chance, winner-take-all game. They're not going to string this thing out, and they're going to wait till the last moment to play the game. They're going to spend the 30 minutes just trying to get to know each other. Now, the old man doesn't really seem to understand what's at stake. Seong doesn't know if it's dementia or the fever, but the old man just starts walking around the arena looking for where he grew up. Seong literally has to grab him and say, "We need to play this game." And finally, the old man agrees. Okay, we'll play. We'll do odds and evens. The problem is, Seong is getting worked in this game. I mean, it's bad. It gets to the point where Seong has one marble left, and the old man wins. But the old man asks Seong, "Wait, did I guess odds or evens?" And Seong lies and says, "Oh, you said the other one. You said odds." So the old man allows the game to continue. Seong lies his way to a victory, or so he thinks. He walks up to the worker to show him he's got 10 marbles, but that's when the old man says, "Oh, wait, I found one." And the problem is they're running out of time. And the old man doesn't really have a lot of interest in playing. He starts to do what he did at the beginning. He starts to walk around looking for the location of where he grew up. And he does find it. All the while, Seong is trying to convince him to continue to play so we can finish this thing. Seong is begging the old man to snap out of it, and finally the old man says, "Okay, why don't we do one more, but it's winner take all." Seong doesn't want to do that. I mean, he's basically won this thing. And even if he loses, he'll just convince the old man that he won. Seong screams at him, "That doesn't make sense at all." And the old man says, "Well, that's what you did. I mean, does tricking your old friend, does that make sense to you?" Because this whole time, the old man knew he was getting played. And Seong feels ashamed. Seong starts to cry. He doesn't quite know what to say. And the old man grabs his hand, puts the remaining marble in it, and closes it. And says, "Take it. It's yours anyway. We're Gganbu, aren't we?" And Gganbu means we're best friends in Korean. It's something they had said right before the rules of the game had been made. That they were best friends. The old man gives him a hug and thanks him for making this a great experience. But Seong is crying at this point because he doesn't want to see his Gganbu die. But he's going to. As Seong walks away, he can't look as the old man gets shot. Now, Sabiak didn't really expect to get a connection with Ji Young. But the more they talked, the more she did end up liking her. And when it came time to play that game, Ji Young threw it. She let Sabiak win. Sabiak told a story about how she has a little brother and her parents are still in North Korea. And Ji Young realized that Sabiak had something to play for. And Ji Young didn't. This didn't exactly make Sabiak happy. She actually got really pissed off. She demanded that Ji Young actually play the game, but Ji Young refused. She was completely okay with losing to Sabiak. As Sabiak walks away, Ji Young says, "Thank you for playing with me." And then she gets shot. The Kingpin, he was losing his game, so he decided to change it up. And he ended up winning. But the worst, by far, was Sang-woo. He did some scumbag behavior. He was losing to Ali. I mean, losing badly. So we decided to trick Ali. With one remaining marble left, he convinced Ali that what they would do is actually work as a team, just like they thought they were going to initially. They were going to find another group of two, and they were going to go 20 marbles against 20 marbles. Sang-woo was able to get Ali to give him his marbles, to hide them. But while Ali wasn't looking, Sang-woo took all the marbles and replaced them with rocks and gave them back to Ali. So Ali is aimlessly walking around looking for people to play with as Sang-woo casually walked up to one of the workers and showed him that he got 20 marbles. The last thing that goes through Ali's head before he dies is the fact that he got betrayed by someone he thought he was friends with. Thank you so much for checking out this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel and subscribing to my Patreon. Hit thumbs up if you liked it. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought it sucked. If you left a comment, I don't get back to you. I usually don't check the comments unless they're like a super comment. Also, if you don't see the next video up on the end screen, not to worry, it'll be up in a day or two.